Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a beautiful Wednesday, a brand new day in your life, and the start of a brand new show. The Mystic Angels, the Angels of Enchantments. I love that. Mystic Angels of Light and Enchantment. And this morning, as we launched the brand new show with a bit of a new format, just to let everybody know, hey, Corey. It's good to see you in the house this morning, cousin. Hey, Rob. Yeah, boy, it's a windy, blustery day out in the enchanted forest. It reminds me of one of those Winnie the Pooh days, right? It's blustery out there, and it sounds a little more treacherous than it probably is, but it's a wonderful fall day here on the eve of a day to give thanks for one another and for all the good things in our lives. Today we're going to focus on the Archangel Saint Gabriel, and I'd like to begin by thanking everybody who has ordered a copy of my new book that includes the amazing work of artist David Fix. It's a book of enchantments with the Mystic Angels of Light. The Mystic Angels cards, deck of cards, is once again completely and utterly sold out. All of the decks seem to go very, very quickly when they are in their physical form. And so we're continuing to have to reprint and reorder from the printing house decks and decks of cards. And yes, Gabriel and Dominic are having fun here in the office with one another. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Gabriel, good morning, Angie. But the Mystic Angels Empowerment deck is once again completely sold out. I shipped out the last 2 decks this week. And so those are going to remain out of print for a while as David Fix and I launch our new deck called the Mystic Angels of Enchantments. And that deck should be revealed early in the year 2020. The physical deck and also the digital deck. Those are being worked on. But the book is available on lulu.com, and for those of you that have ordered a personalized copy with some goodies and a free class included, those should be here any day from the printing house and shipped out early next week after Thanksgiving. And what does that book include? Well, it includes about 30 of the original 33 Mystic Angels and the addition of about 6 new ones. So it's comprised of 36 angels and their enchantments. It's a pretty spectacular book, I would have to say. Hey, Carla Joe. To date, it is my favorite book that I've compiled anyway. And I'm having so much fun with it. The Mystic Angels of Light deck is, of course, all about the Mystic Angels and their messages. Morning, Holly Hagen. And the Mystic Angels of Enchantments is about those angels, but it's about the correspondences, about the universal wisdoms and correspondences for the Mystic Angels, plus those that we've added, such as the Archangel Sandalphon, Raguel. I don't want to ruin all of the surprises. But today I thought it would be fun to begin with the Archangel Saint Gabriel in the new format with its enchantments and its correspondences, because we're heading into the holy days. We're heading into those days where we gather as family, as friends, sometimes as new friends or strangers who become friends, but it's about gatherings. Sometimes it's about gathering to us the memories of holidays past and sorting through them and coming to terms with them, or just enjoying the memories of what was as we are creating what is. And Gabriel, the Archangel Saint Gabriel, many realize is the archangel that delivered the text for the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad. And many, of course, recognize Gabriel, also known as Gavrael and Javriel, as the Archangel of the Annunciation, who announced to Mary that she would be giving birth to a son. And many of us even remember it out of the Peanuts, right? Charlie Brown Christmas. I was lucky because when I was in second grade, I got Archangel Gabriel in my catechism class. Of course, my catechism teacher at the time was my mom, so she had to put up with me begging and pleading to please let me be the Archangel Saint Gabriel in the Christmas pageant. And so that wish was granted. For unto you this day is born a Savior in the city of David. Or for unto you this day in the city of David is born to you a Savior. And that particular piece is one that a lot of people remember, or when they hear it, they say, oh yeah, that's right. That's the Archangel Saint Gabriel. Gabriel is a divine messenger. He's also known to many as the ruler of the first heaven. Excuse my allergies, pardon me. The ruler of the first heaven, of the heavenly planes, of the more finite regions in the unseen realm. He's the angel, she's the angel of Annunciation. Angels are neither male nor female. They simply are beings of light, and we attribute to them or call upon perhaps more of their male aspect at times or more of their female aspect at times. But they are neither, they are both, which is just magnificent in my mind. The holidays is a wonderful way to begin really working with the beings of light that we call angels. We might call them the shining ones. There are many names, Gligli Wakan. There are many names for those beings of light that are messengers from the heavenly realms, we call them, or the finite realms, the subtle realms, those realms that are often hidden and sometimes come to light. They present themselves. The divine messenger, the ruler of the first heaven, and the Annunciation. The keynote word, one of the keynote words for Gabriel is the word create. Gabriel helps to create, to give birth to. A lot of times during this time of the year, people will say, well, it's just so stressful being with family members, people I really don't like. But you have to invite them because they're family. Well, anybody who knows me knows that, no, you don't have to just invite everybody because they're family. That is a choice we have. It might have ramifications. Good morning, Kelly Spencer. It might have ramifications, but we all have a choice. Always have a choice. Anyway, having said that, going off the rails there for a moment, what might happen if we took a moment as we're setting the table for our Thanksgiving meal or our Christmas Eve meal? Good morning, Virginia. Good to have you in the house. What would happen if we were setting our Thanksgiving dinner table or our Christmas Eve or Hanukkah or Diwali or all of the celebrations that we have this time of the year? And then sometimes we have birthdays tossed in there, right? We have a lot of Sagittarians in my household. So there's a lot of gatherings, a lot of celebration. What would happen if we invited the Archangel Saint Gabriel to help us set the table? What would happen if when we light the candles in the centerpiece or the candles on the table, if we invited the presence of the Archangel Saint Gabriel to join us at a meal, to join us and to create, help to create a sense of harmony, a sense of peacefulness, a sense of joy. Anyone who's been to my home knows that I have a formal dining room and I have a semi-formal dining room. And in both of those dining rooms, I have candles on the dining room table. And yes, I am one of those people who went through finishing school right out of, not too soon out of high school, between high school and college. I had private schooling in those things. And part of that is how to dress a table, how to set a table in finishing school. It's an important thing. And so I did learn the technicalities of setting a formal table and all of those good kinds of things. But for me, it's far more than just having a beautifully dressed table. Those candles represent something on my table. They represent an opportunity for either myself as I'm lighting the candle, or if I ask someone else to light the candles, to invite the presence of the archangels of light, the archangels of joy, the archangels of healing. Call them by name or call them by purpose, it matters not. Yes, thank you. Well, yeah, Rob, you can set a place for him at the kitchen table, at the dining room table. Absolutely. He's asking, what if we set a place for him like Elijah at the Passover cedar? Yeah. Why not? Oftentimes during the holidays, people will leave an open seat for someone that they love who has crossed over. And for some families, that is a tradition. But when we're lighting the candle, rather than just to provide a really lovely ambiance, what if in the moment we light it, we call upon the archangel to be present not only at the meal and to bless the meal and to bless each person sitting at the table, the big person's table and the children's table, if you have one of those, but also to bless the conversations. To bless the conversations with joy, with happiness, with peacefulness. What if we ask the archangels of light, the beings of light, the shining ones, the ascended ones, to be present in all parts of the home that we are in, that we're celebrating in? Maybe you belong to one of those families that goes out to a restaurant or a meeting hall for family gatherings this time of the year. That doesn't mean that you still can't invite the presence of the archangels of light, of the archangel Saint Gabriel. Hey, Katie Battle. I'm with you, Holly. I do appreciate a lovely table. And I was happy that I was afforded the opportunity at the age of 20 to have private tutoring in that, finishing tutoring in that. Having a lovely table really does set an energy, an intention that everyone will enjoy not only the meal but the beauty of it and the feng shui of it, and creating a beautiful place to have a meal and to have conversation. In my closet, there in the main kitchen dining room, I have stacks of tablecloths and matching napkins, and I have formal eating ware and formal stemware and formal silver. In fact, Todd and I just ordered last year a brand new set of sterling. Made in the USA from Liberty Tabletop, if any of you out there is wondering about, can you even get sterling anymore? Well, you can, and you can get it made in the United States if that interests you. It always interests me. Liberty Tabletop, and we ordered the Celtic pattern. So we have all of the fixings to create a beautiful place for people to sit and to reminisce and to share memories. Lately around my house, it's been my sons, Dane and Colton, sharing with me all the stuff they did in high school that's just now being revealed, right? They feel safe to be revealed now that one is 30 and one is approaching 30, right? So there are a lot of conversations that happen around the dinner table. A lot of conversations. A true Southern girl. Yeah, Kelly, you are absolutely one of the best table dressers in the universe. Yeah. My mom used to use her ruby glass place settings. I love ruby glass. I love it. I love hobnail glass, all of those sorts of things. I love it. And lately, of course, thanks to my cousin Corey, I'm integrating into the place setting Blue Delft from the Netherlands, which is lovely. And from my Aunt Dot down in Georgia, some beautiful hobnail, just a white milk glass piece. It's not hobnail, it's white milk glass. But properly setting a beautiful table and inviting the Archangel Saint Gabriel to create a space of peacefulness in our home, in the restaurant that we may be in, or the gathering lodge we may have rented for the day. And if we're invited to someone's house, right, we can ask that those angels of light and joyfulness and peaceful conversation, good conversation, be present with us during the meal, during dessert, after the meal, right? Watching over those relatives that maybe have a few too many adult beverages during the course of a gathering to make sure that, they don't overindulge. Taking away the keys, of course, if we have to do that. Having them on the sofa overnight or what have you. And then asking the Archangel Saint Gabriel to accompany those that have gathered on their way home to safely place them where they need to go. Right? So many ways to invite the presence of the angels at our holiday gatherings. Gabriel is a perfect one. So what are some of the correspondences? Let's say you'd like to create an entire centerpiece on your formal dining room table. And these are some of the things that are included in the new book, a book of enchantments, for every one of the angels, all 36 of them, let alone the angelic sigils, or the angelic language of sigils. That's also included in the book, which was a bit delayed because David and I chose to go ahead and add a section about angelic sigils, the angelic language. But let's get back to Gabriel for a moment. What if we'd like to create in the center of our table, or maybe we have a centerpiece in our home, a console or a sofa table that we would like to dedicate to the Archangel Saint Gabriel? What might we use in that piece? Well, there are a few things that are direct correspondences that attract, in other words, the presence of the Archangel Saint Gabriel. One of them is moonstone, clear quartz, the color white, white flowers, morning glories, weeping willow, silver, the spider, the owl, frankincense, sandalwood, and water. Gabriel is, after all, the archangel of the Aquarian age, the bringer of balance, of harmonious balance between the male and the female. The Archangel Saint Gabriel is also the patron saint of communication. Sometimes in gatherings, family gatherings, friend gatherings, conversation can go right off the rails, right? If religion is brought up, or a particular relative, or politics, all of a sudden, conversation can go right off the rail. One of the things that we can help to make sure that that doesn't happen is sometimes set some boundaries with people. At the dinner table, we're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about religion. We're not going to talk about great aunt so-and-so who is just a thorn in everybody's side. We're not going to talk about this or that. We're going to gather and we're going to focus on the positive for today. Those are sidebar conversations if they are not yet healed. Those can happen at another time. Today we're going to focus on gratitude. It's the day we call Thanksgiving, which I think that really in time, the meaning of that day for many, including myself, has transformed. Now that we know some of the real stories, as far as we can piece them, right, about the pilgrims washing ashore here in the Americas. Not quite what perhaps we were led to believe for many of us growing up in the 60s and the 70s, the 80s and the 90s, wherever you happen to fit in there. History is revealing itself in different ways now. And many of the holidays, look at Columbus Day here in the state of Michigan. The governor and the good folks there in Lansing are taking a look at permanently making Columbus Day Indigenous Peoples Day, which for me absolutely makes my heart smile. knowing what we know now, knowing what we know as adults, and informed adults, hopefully, right? And these are the sorts of conversations that can come up. Well, what about Thanksgiving Day? What do we think the Native American people think about Thanksgiving Day? Those are some of the conversations that I've had with my family members who are Native American. What do you think of that? Which often leads to what they think about the Statue of Liberty, most of them, right? And so it goes with conversation. Gabriel, the patron saint of communication, of transformation, of inspiration, can help with that. So that if we're going to go into those arenas, we can have good conversation and not a shouting match about beliefs. Gabriel helps us to agree to disagree. Gabriel helps us to walk away when perhaps we can't find within us or muster up what it takes to walk away or agree to disagree. And again, sandalwood, maybe a little sandalwood oil or a little piece of sandalwood or sandalwood incense or sandalwood beads. I have a beautiful sandalwood ankh that I purchased in Egypt some time ago. And it's made out of sandalwood, so it smells beautifully, whenever it's out. White flowers, a piece of willow, weeping willow specifically, moonstone, clear quartz, a white candle, a silver candle. To create a sacred space to honor the presence of our etheric guest, of our heavenly guest. Right? It's no different that in some homes we may walk in and maybe there's a painting of Shiva. Maybe there's a painting of the Buddha or Guanyin, or maybe there's a statue to the Holy Mother or one of the saints, right? Or maybe some eagle feathers and a chanupa. There are ways in which we can invite our heavenly friends from the angelic realms of light to be present as well. So that's what I wanted to talk about today till we got around to, taking a look at drawing some cards. But we're going to do it differently today because, again, this is the day that we're launching the new show, and I'm really excited about this new book and the new deck of cards that will be accompanying it, and also the altar cards. David Fix will have those up on our website. But in the meantime, if you'd still like to order a copy of the book, you can at schoolofsacredstudies.com, and those will be going out next week. So I'm going to go ahead and bring some messages to life here for all of you that have joined me today. Hey, Sonia. Katie's saying her mom became an Avon lady to get her ruby glass. Oh, I love those things. And carnival glass, Fostoria, depression glass. I love all of those things. Always have. And I was so delighted to find out that my great-grandmother also enjoyed that. My great-grandmother, Hendrika Erfman, who came here from the Netherlands, also loved to dress a beautiful lacy table. And as did my grandmother, Marie King. She liked to have a lovely table. And I guess some things do flow through the bloodline as well in that way. So I'm going to begin with Carla Joe. And we're doing this a little bit differently, so bear with me, everybody, in this new way of being here. Carla Joe, the Archangel Saint Uriel. Carla Joe, Saint Uriel, the Archangel. Kelly is saying spectacular. I use a couple of those, but I will definitely be adding some of those you mentioned. That will be so lovely, creating comfort and peacefulness, washing guests without even saying so. Yes, indeed. Because we can also ask for the presence of the Archangel Saint Gabriel to be at our door, the door that people enter our home, right? The Archangel Saint Uriel, Carla Jo. Uriel is also known as the regent of the sun, the immortal light. And one of the keynote phrases of Uriel is, of course, let there be light. This is all about high ceremony, Carla Jo. Banishment, boundary setting, truth-seeking, and discernment. They require the integrity of the Archangel Saint Uriel's radiant light. This is the angel of discernment. I like this piece that came to me. Uriel, splendid archangel of holy sacred light, please come. Surround me with your protective healing radiance. Guard me against all that is harmful. Exile to the light all that is evil. Permeate this space and fill me with your light and the love of Creator. Thank you. So be it, and so it is. What some may not know about the Archangel Saint Uriel when it comes to talking about enchantments, correspondences, when we say that it was an enchanted evening, it was an enchanted evening, it was an enchanted meal. This is what we're talking about. It was an enchanted meal. There was something about the table that Kelly set, that Katie set, that created an enchanted evening. It was enchanting. What makes up the feeling or the presence of enchantment? This is what the book is about. Uriel is also the patron saint of arts and sciences, and as I said, the angel of discernment. Discernment in high ceremony, discernment in setting boundaries, right? It's a very, very potent. So that's just a piece of what it is about the Archangel Saint Uriel that stands out in the book. Some of the correspondences, by the way, for Uriel CJ are platinum, the shape of the triangle, jasmine, the sun, amber, Uranus, the month of September. Lots of correspondences. Corey. This angel is presenting itself for you. Just shuffling through. It's the Archangel Yophael. Yophael. The architect of beauty, also known as the lover. Give and receive joyful love. Well, that's pretty pertinent for the last week and a half, isn't it, Corey? Give and receive joyful love. I received an astounding box in the mail for my birthday. Opened it on my birthday from my cousin Corey. It was just filled with treasures. And some of those treasures were ancestral treasures. Beauty resides within you, pours through you, and frankly speaking, is you, Corey. That's the message of Yophael. Where do you find joy? How do you express your unique gifts and talents? What are you passionate about? This is the angel of passion. It's the angel of joyful love. Yophael helps us to release ourselves from painful love, the memories of painful love, and painful love that may be present in our life. Yophael is also the patron saint of artists, Kelly. The patron saint of artists. Yophael corresponds beautifully to roses, to frankincense, sandalwood, pink tourmaline, dark pink. frankincense, and thyme. Some of the key words for the patron saint of artists, also known as Yophael: inner beauty, self-love, and expressions of beauty. Love this. Virginia. This is one of the new angels that we have added. One of the 13 in the... Oh, thank you, Carla Jo. And thank you for also adding what you did here in the chat room. The Archangel Zachriel for Virginia. The Archangel Zachriel is known as one of the rulers of the sixth heaven. We might say the sixth dimension, right? That might be another word to describe it. Zachriel is known as the ancestral liaison and helps us with ancestral healing and wisdom. All about the ancestors when we're talking about Zachriel. Perhaps it is time to create a sacred space for conscious breathing and conversation with those who have gone before you. Request the presence of the Archangel Zachriel as you immerse yourself in ancestral healing and the ancient teachings of your seen and unseen ancestors. I love that. You're welcome, Corey. Some of the correspondences for the Archangel Zachriel are Isis, Horus, the star cluster known as Antares, the color purple, chestnut, oak, lilacs, carnation, bees, the eagle, the elephant, cloves, frankincense. You see, there are many correspondences that help to draw that energy into the room, into a space, when we're working with our ancestors. This is one way, when we're doing maybe some meditation, when we're doing some research on 23andMe and Ancestry.com. Maybe we have a purple candle on our desk or on our table. Maybe we add a little bit of frankincense. Maybe we have a little bowl of cloves, right? Consciously co-creating with the angels. That's what we're talking about today and in this work that I'm so excited about. You have a whole lot of angels, Corey. Angie Town, this one is for you, my dear friend. I'm just letting the pages flow through my fingers and asking them to stop where I need to. And it is the Archangel Ariel, the guardian of nature. Yep, you can hear me typing. The Archangel of Nature. Ariel is also represented by the lion and the lioness, right out of the chute. Mother Nature has much to teach those who are willing to listen, to see, to feel, to learn with an open heart and an open mind. Angie, you're being asked to spend some time out in nature. We're having a lovely blustery day here in West Michigan. So maybe go out and stomp around in the leaves a little bit today in your yard, right? I still love doing that as a big kid, right? Making a big old pile of leaves and stomping through it, sometimes flopping around in it. I love doing that. I do it, well, almost daily, actually, here in the Enchanted Forest right now. Ariel is also the gatekeeper to the land of the Fae folk. And so when we're stomping through those leaves and walking through the enchanted forest, we can invite the Archangel Ariel to be with us, to help to open up and close when we are finished a portal or a gateway to the Fey realms, to the fairy kingdoms, to enjoy them, to maybe have a peek inside, or to let them have a peek at us while we are in nature. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect for you as well as Sonia. The Archangel Ariel is also, and yeah, the muddy puddles, right on, Katie. Ariel is also the patron angel of animals. Animals. So what are some of the correspondences with the Archangel Ariel? Sense? Sandalwood. Sandalwood is a wonderful, almost universal tool for keeping things sacred, in sacred space, by the way. It's very high vibration. Citrine, cat's eye, tiger eye, of course. Neroli, frankincense. Thistle. We want to spend some time working with the Fey folk, the fairy realms. Those are some of the ways in which we can make a sacred space for them. A meditation station, a sacred altar. Call it what you will. Rob, the Archangel Barbiel. The Quester, represented or personified sometimes by the knight and the lady of the round table. The knight and the lady. And the keynote, one of the keynotes for Barbiel is this. Wake up. Wake up. The time is now. As one of the magnificent angels overlighting the 28 mansions of the moon, Barbiel reminds you, Rob, that your soul is vast, cosmic, and eternal. Perhaps it is time to visit regions within yourself that are yearning to be discovered. Yearning to be discovered. I love that. All right, so what are some of the really cool correspondences that go with the angels? Calendula, marigold, brown, deep blue, petersite. Also known as the Prince of Archangels and of Virtues. Right? There's a whole lot of energy there with Barbiel. You're welcome, Angie, you beautiful thing. It's all about the seeker. Waking up, rising to the occasion, and going a-questing. Going questing. Hey, Cousin Donna. Good to see you in the house. Great to have you here. Okay, Katie. Battle. The Archangel Blandine. Oh, ruler of the dream world. Sometimes people will say, oh my God, Dana, my dreams are out of control. I can't sleep at night. What is going on? Well, there's a whole lot that goes on when we're supposedly sleeping. Our body is supposed to be resting at that time, but oftentimes our soul and our spirit is out there in the etheric world exploring, being taught in the mystery schools located on the etheric planes, right? In the ethers. It's the place of time travel. Yesterday I was having the other half of my back tattooed. The left half of my back tattooed. It's quite a spectacular tattoo, I have to say. And it's dedicated to my Celtic ancestors. Those from Scotland, Ireland, England, the Celts, and also my Norwegian ancestors. In other words, my king family. It's on the left side of my back, represented by the wolf. And the Celtic knotwork, the Viking knotwork, is extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. And I came in with a single piece for the artist Raven. She's quite astounding. And I said, this is what my dream for my tattoo is kind of how it's created in my mind. Here's the dream for it. And I said, I always say to her, now it's your opportunity to dream it into being. And what she created literally takes up the entirety of the left side of my back, from my spine to just over my shoulder, with the Celtic tree, the tree of life, the eagle, the wolf, the crane. I said, how do you do that? How do you take my dream and bring it through your hands and create the way that you do? And we had this great conversation about what is the dream? What is the dream? Well, I believe everything is the dream. Right now is the dream. This is a dream that our soul is experiencing, the dream of being human. So we can invite Blandine, who is the wise protectress of our dream, to be present not only when the body is sleeping and we have nocturnal dreams, but when the body is awake and we're living the daytime dream. Right? Shamans, medicine people are always working in the dream. Artists are always working in the dream, as are musicians, writers, composers. The dream time is the place of the muse. Okay. Lavender, rose, moonstone, rose quartz. Those are some of the things that we can have next to our bed together. If you're having problems with your dreams, or you would like to have more inspirational dreams, or you would like to have a particular dream, you can create a sacred space for the Archangel Blandine right next to your bed. Or if you sleep on the sofa or in a recliner, wherever it is that you sleep, you can create a sacred space to assist in the dream time. Right? The Angel of Protected Sleep is one of the names that Blandine goes by. But he is also known as the Weaver and the overseer of the Etheric Mystery School. Yeah. Kelly Spencer. All right. Okay, the Archangel Camiel. Archangel Camiel, the ruler of Mars. Also represented by the Emperor and the Empress. One of the keynote phrases associated with Camiel is this: Give me the strength to do what needs to be done, and a heart of compassion with which to do it. Oh, well, that's pretty perfect, isn't it, Kel? When we are called to speak out for ourselves, or for those unable to do so for themselves, or need the strength to do what we know is going to be hard, we are invited to call upon the Archangel Camiel, the angel of divine law and justice, to gently assist us. Camiel is also known as the chief of the Order of the Powers. Right? The Powers is a set of angels known as the angel of justice, strength, and compassion. What are some of the correspondences? If we are someone who speaks on behalf of others, or we're somebody that needs to have that tough conversation, and we need to create a space, a sacred space to kind of anchor that, maybe in our office or in our home. Some of the correspondences are iron. Iron is an amazingly protective energy, very protective. Lavender, of course. Rose, of course. Tiger eye. Frankincense and myrrh. And Gavura as another essence, if you'd like to use that. Also corresponds with Mars. Camiel. Potent stuff. Very potent stuff. All right. Donna. I'm going to sort through the... Just let it flow. These kind of sticking together here, so it's a little bit of a challenge. Hold on here. Yeah, it's good to have a positive morning. It's great. Okay. Now that we're done unsticking all these pages, here's where we have landed, Donna. The angel Shamshiel, ruler of the daylight and master of the sun. The keynote, unchain yourself. All right, unchain yourself. Oh, that's a good one for all of us, isn't it? The Archangel Shamshiel, also known as the angelic prince of the Garden of Eden and the ruler of the fourth heaven. Donna, you're so funny. That's right, Katie. Donna, unchain yourself. I'm just going to read this to you, cousin. Gaining our freedom from self-imposed imprisonments, harmful relationships, detrimental thoughts, ignorance, low self-esteem, brings renewed joy and a brand new day upon our earth walk. It's about unchaining ourselves. Sometimes we are still chained to something, somebody, a thought, a memory, a circumstance, a way of being. And sometimes we forget, oh, that's right, I can unchain myself from that person, from that relationship, from that thought, from that job, from whatever. It's about unchaining whatever it is that is imprisoning our heart, maybe taking away our joy, our expressiveness. Shamshiel is a potent angel of emancipation, calling upon this fearless messenger to gently free you from what is holding you captive and to give you continued support as you taste and experience a renewed sense of freedom in your life is a great good thing. Become aware of the doors that will open and the people you will meet in order to help you regain personal balance. This is one of those angels that we can invite into our lives when we know that something is holding us back, is still binding our heart, our time, has snuffed out our passion, snuffed out our joy, makes us cranky, crazy, right? Shamshiel, man, I need to be unchained from that. Help me release myself from that. Lordy. What are some of the correspondences? Kyanite. Oh, I love kyanite. Light green lavender. Gardening. Getting out there with your hands in the soil. Wearing a piece of kyanite. Right? A kyanite stone. Kyanite's beautiful. Wearing light green. Having some lavender in the house. Lavender incense or some lavender flowers or lavender essential oil. It helps to free us. It helps to inspire us to let go. Right? I love these keywords. Freedom, shine, celebrate. It's about working through. I love that. Unchain yourself. God, right when I said that, I can hear Aretha Franklin singing. Chain, chain, chain. Chain of fools, right? Letting go of some of those fools by whatever means they're in our life. Right? Letting go of the chain. The ball and chain. It's amazing what we can be chained to for a long time. So there you go, Cousin Donna. That's not so scary. Anything you want to unchain yourself from, ask Shamshiel to help you with that. Have a little bit of lavender while you're contemplating that. Right? Maybe you could have a little piece of amethyst. A candle. A lovely lavender candle. And think about all those things that you wish to unchain yourself from. Sometimes we need to unchain ourselves from all the things we beat ourselves up with. Donna says, well, crying here. Thanks for this. 45 years. Baby girl, it's time to unchain. You beautiful thing. One of the things I love about Donna, when we were down in Georgia together, she's like one of those people like my cousin Corey and my closest friends. You go with the flow, right? Let's go have an adventure. So we found ourselves down in Macon, Georgia at the Allman Brothers Museum. Now that was some fun, wasn't it, Donna? Poor Todd, right? He's just that much younger than me and Donna that he's like, really, the Allman Brothers? I'm not really knowing much about the Allman Brothers. And she and I are absolutely giddy walking through their home there in Macon and looking at all the Allman Brothers artifacts. It was outstanding. Outstanding. All right, Holly Hagan. This one is for you, Holly. All right. Okay, I think I've unstuck these pages. All right. The Archangel Raziel. Holly. Thank you for being patient as I type. The Archangel Raziel, the angel of mysteries and the keeper of secrets. Well, you gotta love that, don't you? I do. The keeper of secrets. The angel of mystery. The keynote for this particular card or this particular enchantment and teaching is this: go deeper. Go deeper. It's time to go deeper. The Archangel Raziel assists us in understanding the wisdoms of the universe and the wisdom to be gleaned from our earthly human experience. Right? So when we need to really drill down, Raziel can help us with that. Also known as the angel of lawmakers and lawyers. And you gotta love this. Raziel is also known as the angelic wizard. Wizard. The keeper of knowledge, wisdom, alchemy, and spiritual gifts and talents. Yeah. Call upon this angel of celestial mysteries to help you find deeper meaning in your experiences, or to go deeper into your spiritual study, or to assist you in seeing the truth at the heart of the matter. Right. What are some of the correspondences? Clear quartz, and Raziel keeps it simple. All of the colors of the rainbow. So clear quartz and the rainbow. And all of the colors of the rainbow. Those chakra colors, the rainbow colors. Keeps it simple. It's about delving into, right, the mysteries of those colors even. Right? Colors are important. We need to pay attention. And so says Gabriel, who just can't hardly stand. Hey, Marianne Haynes. It's good to see you in the house. I so enjoy all of your photos on... I'm more of an Instagram person anymore. Really, I like being on Instagram. Marianne, this one is for you. And then Sonia. The angel Thoth is here for you, Marianne. Thoth. And yes, Thoth is a celestial being. And there are a few ways to spell it depending on where you're at. Transmute and transform, says Thoth. Transmute and transform. Your wings are unfolding, says Thoth. It's time to take flight. Heal your thoughts and you heal your mind. Heal your body and you heal your world. Heal your emotions and you heal your spirit. Heal your past and you heal your present. Oh, I like that. This is about consciously every day thinking about wellness, being present with wellness, creating wholeness, and taking your time in the process. Healing is a process. It's not an event. Healing is a process. It is not an event. The healing of a physical body, spiritual, mental, emotional body, it's a process. And some people want it to be over in a single event or racing through it. It doesn't really work that way. It just doesn't. Sometimes when we need some insight into our own personal healing, maybe of a PTSD from wounding as a child, or a PTSD from serving in battle or in the military, or the PTSD of the trauma of your life or situation in your life, the angel Thoth, the spirit of Thoth, can be brought to us so that we can really get to the root of the matter. And rather than continue to masking whatever it is that needs to be healed, we can really sit and contemplate and chew on it. Doesn't have to be solved in one sitting, but to chew bits and pieces and really work toward the core of what's going on. The first priest king of Atlantis is also one of the names of Thoth, and messenger of healing light. Of healing light. As above, so below, as below, so above. So the Hermetic Creed is also part and parcel of Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus. So if we want to have a bit of a sacred space for our own healing, to really contemplate, to be with it, what might we do to create that? Well, the correspondences, some of them, silver, gold, and it doesn't have to be sterling silver or 18 karat gold. It can be a representation of, so let's not get hung up on technicalities. Amber, rose, jasmine, musk, red amber, of course, sandalwood or lotus oil. If we have a book, the emerald tablets. I love the emerald tablets. I have several versions of it here in this library, in my office. So we can create an altar. And maybe on that altar we have a bit of silver, a bit of gold. Maybe we have a white candle or a rose-colored candle, a rose-scented candle, maybe a little rose oil. It can be very simple, very, very simple, or as complex as you would like it to be. But to just sit and think, Thoth, what is this feeling that I keep having? What is this pervasive thought? Where does it come from? Where does this pervasive melancholy come from? What is the source? What is the root? Thank you for helping me to get to the root, to heal that, to come to terms with it, to replace that with joy. Help me along that path. It doesn't have to be something huge and gigantic. All right, Sonia. Also in the book, of course, are incantations to the angels. Sonia. You are welcome, Marianne. Yeah, I love the Instagram account. I like all the little videos and stuff. It just makes me giggle. I really like Instagram. I put more personal stuff on Instagram. All right. I apologize for improper punctuation as I'm typing. Sonia, the Archangel IML, the agent of change, of revolution and evolution. Allow the flow of change. Today on my Facebook page for the School of Sacred Studies, I found a pretty funny little meme about, right, hanging on by our fingernails, right, to the walls of the tower that's going down rather than to just stop, drop, and roll with the flow, right? We know when change is supposed to happen. We know when change is present, but by golly, we will hang on to the last board on that wooden ship, hoping that we float to somewhere good, or we will cling on by our fingernails to the wall of that tower that is crumbling down beneath our feet, won't we? I think that's part of our human nature until we finally realize. There comes a day when we all realize we do just need to stop, drop, and roll with the flow. Just stop banging our head against the wall. And that's what IML helps us do. IML is about change. Time can be a very tricky thing. Is it better to be on time or in time? To go with the flow of time or bend it to our own personal needs? Is it possible to flow back in time or visit a time yet to come? Yes. Yes, to all of it. In time, all things change, and with it comes the potential for transformation. I like that meme too about if you don't like it, get up and move. You're not a tree. Right? I think we started the show with that. We don't have to invite everybody to the dinner table. We have a choice. It's not always an easy choice. Change is not always easy. Last night, as Raven was creating the artwork, she creates her own artwork for my tattoos freehand, and then she places it on my back. But her former husband was in the room, and he was talking about things not pleasant, and she kept looking at him and saying, would you stop talking about negative things while I'm drawing her art? Let's talk about time travel. And every time he would start talking about something, she would say, time travel, let's talk about time travel. Time travel. Going forward. In her mind, taking a look at how it's going to look on my back. Taking a look about how it's going to feel. Taking a look at back in time as to what a Celtic knot looks like. What the Viking shield looks like. She was traveling through space and time to create artwork. Sometimes we're traveling through space and time as we heal ourselves, as we allow for a revolution or an evolution in our life, as we're going to what's next. And if we don't go with the flow of what we know, the universe will give us an opportunity in the form sometimes of we say the cosmic whack upside the head, the cosmic 2x4, right? The kick in the arse. Sometimes it will be an illness that lands us in a space where we have no other choice than to think about where we are going, where we are supposed to be. Letting go, unchaining, going forward, having the rubber meet the road. Evolve, flow, and ascend. If we're going to have sacred ceremony with IML, we know we're in the process of change, we're not liking it, or we're loving it, or we're wanting how to learn to love it. We can create a sacred space in our home or in our business or what have you to help us with change, with revolution and evolution. We can help with that. Specifically, consciously being aware. Rose quartz, lavender, frankincense, and myrrh. The element of air, giving voice to, I am afraid that, X, Y, and Z. Voicing that. Sometimes we'll stuff our fear about change. We won't give voice to it. It's amazing when we give voice to it. And we don't have to tell everybody. We can tell our own higher self, coming to terms. And also, not just verbalizing what we're afraid of, but here's what my hopes are. Here's where I'd like to go. Here's where I'd like to be. Giving voice to what we might call the future. Our dreams, our goals. So the element of air, of positive thought, of positive words. Dreaming it into being, in tandem with. Taking time every day. It's amazing when we focus on the positive of change, how all of those fears, those niggling fears, just kind of sort of fade away when we focus and we get moving with the positive part of change, going with the flow. Hey, Lady Hawk. Well, here you are, and we will wrap it up with you, my dear friend. Lady Hawk, Chetawee. The Archangel Muriel. How do I know so much about angels? Well, I grew up Catholic. Really Catholic. I went to 1,000,000 years of catechism, as most Catholic children do, right? And I've always been fascinated by the mystics and the mysteries. Always. Always. It's what got me hooked on Stevie Nicks, right? They used to call her the Welsh Witch. The Welsh Witch. Love that. Boy, I'm like, okay. I mean, Kelly, how old were we? 15, 14 when that Rumors album came out? I'm like, I need to find out about this woman, only to find out years and years later that I myself am Welsh. Gotta love that. Okay, so that led to, right, my diving into angels. Well, how can you learn about angels and be okay with angels and still be a pipe carrier? Well, you know what? Those angels, those beings of light, those shining ones, go by many more names than just angels, right? All pathways have angels. They just go by different names. I was first introduced to them in my religious upbringing of Catholicism. So there, now you kind of know. Kelly is saying, D, all of your works are amazing, but this, I believe, will be the absolute most spectacular by far. The book, the cards, in our world, people are in need nowadays for grounding and a sense of being. This will be a go-to for many, many, many. Oh, thank you, Kel. Yeah, that's right, badass bestie. Right, back at ya. Right, we used to talk about this stuff, Kelly and I, in 7th and 8th grade. Me and her. We did. And that was really where we formed our relationship, Kelly and I, is with this stuff, this unseen stuff. Well, thank you for that, Kelly. I would love to pull a card for your mom, Mary Ellen, that sweet woman. Hi, Mary Ellen. Hi, honey. I hope you're feeling well. Yeah, we sure did, Kelly. And, you know, for many years in my study of angels and working in tandem with Sister Irene Mary, oh, she's so stinking cute, when I wrote that book, A Year of Mystic Angels, because they had come to me for a year, and I wrote about what they asked me to write about in that book, which is now out of print, sold out. But you can get it print on demand now. I can't keep those books in stock either. Anything doing with the angels, really. All of my work is sold out of print. Anywho, Irene, as a Dominican nun, of course, spent a long time as part of her theology studies at Aquinas College here in Grand Rapids, studying the angels. And she said, you know, even in my years of study, I didn't know that some of those angels existed. And we had great conversations about that. I'm very blessed to have Sister Irene Mary and Sister Andrea and many others in my life. All right. Yeah, exactly, Rob. The language is often the difference. Yeah, the language. And rather than allow it to be a barrier, I think now we realize it's something to celebrate, coming to understand the many languages. But back to you, Catherine, Lady Hawk. The Archangel Muriel says this to you. Y'all have a beautiful week too, Donna. I love you. And be safe flying around the world, will you please? Be safe. Invite your angels to be there with you on those airplanes and in those countries and places that American Airlines has you go. Thank you very much. Lady Hawk, self-care is essential. Self-care is essential. I'm going to read this to you, Lady Hawk, just the first bit. Those born with the gifts of a sensitive seer, that would be you, and those who are learning the art of becoming such are required to be mindfully awake and consciously aware of creating healthy boundaries in their lives. Whew, this is a good one for you, Lady Hawk, hey? And you know what, Lady Hawk? I want to just say this to you. You are a spectacular photographer, by the way. Spectacular. Thank you for sharing all your photographs there on Facebook. So it's about acknowledging as sensitives, as seers, we need to take care of our boundaries. And sometimes that's not easy. It just isn't easy. So who do we call upon? Well, we can call upon the Archangel Saint Michael. You know, there's a big kick-ass being who can help with a lot of stuff. But we can also ask the Archangel Muriel, who's the angel of the sensitive seer, the angel of the cosmic eye, to help us see what's going on, creating those healthy boundaries with people, with ourselves, with what we eat, what we drink, what we watch on TV, what we listen to in music, who we allow in our lives. Right? Do we allow everybody to walk through our heart and our mind with their muddy shoes? Or do we say, please remove your shoes before you walk through my heart and my mind, and please walk gently and lovingly? Muriel helps us with that. And if we want to invite the presence of Muriel into a sacred space, there are some things that correspond with this angel, such as blue chamomile. Love blue chamomile. Rose oil, rose otto, rose quartz, melissa. So maybe we have a rose-colored candle, and we just sit and we think, and we thank our guides, our allies, our guardian angels, the Archangel Muriel, for helping us set healthy boundaries with ourselves and others and situations. Muriel is associated with the sign of Cancer, right? A little bit of myrrh also corresponds with Muriel. I love the key words for Muriel. I see all things, and all things see me. How's that for a brilliant photographer? Right, there you go. Maybe she's also the angel of photographers. But there you have it. Absolutely, I'll pull a card for my little brother, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. So funny. Dane says, oh my God, this is how we're all so connected. Dane texted me, hey, Ma, I think we need to go sledding again this year. Because every winter we have this gathering of fun people. There's a lot of gatherings of fun people here in the home and in the School of Sacred Studies, but there's this winter gathering where we as very fun adults go light up the ski hill and the sledding hill at Cannonsburg Ski Lodge here, right? Kelly, Kevin, Lily, me. I'm just a group of us adults, the kids. There's half sides. Oh, good Lord. And it wasn't just a few hours later that Kelly texted me and said, when are we going to have our winter get-together crab boil? I said, funny you should say that. Love that. We are all connected, aren't we? By the good times, the bad times. Woo! Okay, Mary Ellen. This one is for you. Let me just sort through all of this here. Isn't this fun on the day before a holiday to be all together? Oh, okay. We had to switch some things up in this book. We had to switch some things up because when we're talking about correspondences and creating sacred altars, we switched up some. We replaced some of the mystic angels with the angels of enchantments, and this is one of those situations where we went from the phoenix to the phoenixes, the angels of the resurrection, and harmonizing heaven and earth. Okay. Release and receive is the keynote of the phoenixes. And it comes with the song of the phoenixes. Maybe you've never heard of the song of the phoenixes. Right? I'm just going to read this to you, Mary Ellen. I can just visualize you in your recliner in your living room. Mary Ellen, the time has come to lovingly let go of what no longer nourishes your body, your mind, your emotions, spirit, and soul, and warmly welcome that which brings you joy, health, harmony, peace, and the wellness that you seek in your life. It's time for you to shine your light. And here's the Song of the Phoenixes. I think this is spectacular. The Song of the Phoenixes. The light giver is coming to give radiance to the whole world. And the morning watch appears, which is the sun's rays. And the sun comes out over the face of the earth and retrieves his radiance to give light to all the face of the earth. That is a multi-layered song. It is so deep. It comes from the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch, the prophet. The light giver is coming to give radiance to the whole world. And the morning watch appears, which is the sun's rays. And the sun comes out over the face of the earth and retrieves his radiance to give light to all the face of the earth. We each do that. We have the opportunity to do that each and every day. So, if we want to invite the presence of the Temple of the Sun, it's represented along the river Nile, by the way, this principle. At the Temple of the Sun in Heliopolis, right? That temple is dedicated to this, as is the teaching of the resurrection of the Christ light. Cinnamon, the phoenix bird, the rising sun, anything corresponding to the sun, brings in the energy of the phoenixes. So just a little bit of cinnamon in a dish, maybe light a white candle, a little tea light candle or what have you, little white candle, a little bowl of cinnamon, and to recite and to reflect upon our own inner light. Right? And as we reflect upon that, our inner light grows. When we focus on anything in our life, it grows. Mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I love this. Rise and shine. Rise and shine is the keynote or the key words for the phoenixes. There you go. And lastly here, Kevin. Let me roll through. The altar cards are stunning, by the way. 13 altar cards that are available only at the School of Sacred Studies until, you're welcome. You are so welcome, Mary Ellen. Okay, this is a good one. Oh my God, Kevin. I have to read this to you. Because when we were all last together, if you can see us adults sitting in our living room upstairs, all of us wearing witch hats and a steampunk hat. Kevin had on a steampunk hat, and we were listening to Motown and yada yada. Well, yesterday, Kevin, you'll like this. Elise sends me daily photos of Easton from the NICU. He's, of course, still in the NICU at St. Mary's Hospital. And she sends photos. But yesterday, because he's having a hard time with his breathing, she decided to bring her favorite music into the NICU to play for him. And her favorite music, since she was a little girl, has been George Benson and Kenny G. She finally got to meet Kenny G in person about a year and a half ago. And it was just this highlight. And as a bonus, George Benson was with Kenny G up at Soaring Eagle Casino. So my daughter was in heaven. Her two favorites on the same stage, George Benson, Kenny G. So she brought Kenny G and George Benson into the NICU yesterday. And she said she played Kenny G and George Benson for Easton. And she said, Mom, his favorite song by far is Me and Mrs. Jones. And she sent me a photo yesterday and one this morning of him smiling from ear to ear, eyes wide open, listening to me and Mrs. Jones. They got a thing going on, apparently. Anyway, Kevin. Funny. But it all corresponds to where I'm going, Kevin. And that is the Archangel Saint Israfel. So your nephew is digging some me and Mrs. Jones. And Kenny G and George Benson. Oh, at least she has some really good music for that child to listen to. Anyway, Israfel is the archangel of music, one of them, and also known as the Burning One. Be inspired, says Israfel. Saint Israfel, the archangel of music, appears to us when it is time to create, enjoy, or move to the music. Yeah. This heavenly herald also asks us to consider inner healing work, utilizing sound and vibration, maybe for our own healing or learning harmonic healing techniques to assist others. You're being encouraged to create a sacred space for yourself and others as well. So, you can invite the Archangel Israfel into your home and play some music, some inspiring music, music that makes you dance, music that makes you sing, music that makes your heart happy. And when we do that, it changes the energy of any place that we happen to be. In my kitchen, on the, what do you call that cabinet up above the refrigerator, I created up at the Heartful Art Studio in Big Rapids a sign that says, "This kitchen was made for dancing." Because I have a very, very large kitchen with an amazing open floor plan that we dance in. When friends are over, family, we crank up the tunes and that kitchen becomes a discotheque or whatever. Right, there it is. So this is all about utilizing music for healing and for inspiration. Yeah. When we're elevated by music, it elevates everything around us. So utilize the music, Kevin. Get out there and dance, move, groove, right? Be inspired. Let it flow. And it's amazing how much joy it brings to others to see people dancing. We do that just about wherever we go. Every other year, Todd and I rent a home on the island of Kauai. And one year it was Kevin and Kelly and Lily and Tara and Todd and I, and we turned on the tunes, opened up the doors. It's a lovely little house on the ocean, and the entire Hawaiian cottage turned into a dance hall, discotheque, right? And the joy, people walking by and looking in at all of us having fun, dancing. It's astounding. It's astounding. Get out there and dance, shine your light. With that, everybody, thank you all for being present on this day before the day that we boogied on the beach, baby. We love to do that. It's great to have friends and family that you can do that with. Tomorrow is a day of giving thanks. It's more than pilgrims arriving at the shore and supposedly eating a meal with the Native Americans who warmly greeted them. It's about a day of thanks and gratitude and expressing that gratitude and thanks and being in a place of gratitude for all things. All things. And I am grateful and inspired by all of you. Blessings be, everybody. Have an astounding day. Have an astounding week. Shine on.